Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan back with another video presentation. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a safe and dry weekend. Hope everyone has something planned. Hope everybody is doing something, barbecuing or grilling for the 4th of July coming up. Hope everybody had a great week. We're in the month of July. I cannot believe that. We got 5 more months until 2022 is over. Cannot believe that. It's just slowly just going by fast. But this is episode 7. No, this is episode 8 of Big Nate Sports Talk. As you didn't see the title, I do apologize if you have not seen me the past couple days. It's been hectic outside of YouTube, but I'm glad to be back on here. Able to do some things, made a few shorts, going to continue to make those shorts for the NBA draft. I'm also going to do that, kind of trying to make that a regular thing. Now, please forgive me. I have not forgotten to upload the remaining of season 8 and get season 9 uploaded as well on Anchor via Spotify, so you can listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. So though I have not forgotten that. What else is happening? There's really nothing much going on with football. Just really been kind of boring with OTAs and training camp at the moment. Week 1 for the NBA free agency. For the NBA is week 1. It's been a crazy week 1, so you'll probably see a video Tuesday for that. So stay tuned. But in this video, we're just talking about the Washington Mystics. We got a big win against the Atlantic. We got a one-sided victory against the Atlantic Dream, and we play the Connecticut Sun. We go the third and final time tomorrow. And then we're also going to talk about the All-Star game. The All-Star reserves came back, and I have some issues with that, and we're going to talk about it. But let's get into it. The Washington Mystics, after being on the road for 3 games, came home Tuesday against the Atlanta Dream, and after a glorious win on the road against Vegas, coming home with momentum, we embarrassed the Atlanta Dream 92-74. Natasha Cloud, and I'll get more into this, led the way. It looked like it was a blowout from the get-go. Natasha Cloud led the way offensively. She did not make the All-Star team, and there's been kind of a debate should she have made the All-Star team. Unfortunately, her streak of 5 or more assists was snapped after 23 games.
Oh my God!
Elena Deladon only played 19 minutes in that game against the Dream. So, looking at it, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I really wasn't sold on the Dream. I'm disappointed because I had them as a team that can make the playoffs, and they've kind of slipped. They've kind of fallen off. It was good to see Eric Cooley back out there on the floor. But there's some things Atlanta has to fix. They got to learn how to close games better down the stretch. Ryan Howard needs like another. They need another a second or third option. That makes sense. And I mean, looking at the box score, we're pulling that up right now. I mean, everybody pretty much was for Atlanta. You had a couple players close in the negative teens. Your leading scorer was Asia Durr with 13. Nash Hillman had 11 points. The only one that was in the positive was Ari McDonald. She had 2 points. Atlanta shot 42% from the field and shot 25%. I mean, Ryan Howard had a measly 5 points and missed 7 shots.
What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airwaves, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How in God's name?
I mean, basketball is a game of you're going to have your good games, you're going to have your bad games, but I would have thought that they would have made some type of an adjustment. I mean, about 0 of 7, 2 of 14, 6 of 11, 3 of 8, 3 of 7. That means you're not doing the right things. And for Washington, everybody did well. Kind of would like to see a little bit more from the bench. But there are doing things that when they're not on the defensive side of the ball. Like Avina Westbrook, who joined us, she's on a 7-day contract. She stepped in there. She had 3 points. Atiana Hawkins had 2. Rory hit her first 3 of the season. She had 5 points. Shatori had 9 points. She was 3 of 5. Elena Deladon, Alicia Clark put under 20 minutes. Elena had 11. Ariel Atkins had 15, and Taj led the way with 18. I mean, as far as what I saw, points in the paint, we did a really good job in that area. We had 34. Atlanta had 16 second chance points. Ironically, we did not have any fast break points. Atlanta had 10 of those, but the shots just weren't falling. I knew after the first quarter, like our leading scorer was Tosh with 11, and everybody, again, listen, the first quarter, Atlanta, you had everybody, your starting 5 close. I mean, you had everyone close to the teens. That's just not going to win you basketball games. At one point, she had Kia Vaughn out there. Shout out to Kia Vaughn, but I thought Coach Wright would have made some adjustments, and didn't see that. But I mean, the star of this game was Natasha Cloud. I mean, going into that game against Atlanta, she believes she's leading the league with 7.5 assists a game. Ironically, no other player currently right now is averaging 7 assists. I love Natasha Cloud. I really do. When she first came in from St. John's University, I knew she was going to be a great player. I agree and disagree at the same time about there's politics. I understand with All-Star, there's debate of does winning matter? When you go to All-Stars, the players you want to see. But I'm going to be honest, and this is where critiquing and criticizing comes into play. When you grab a microphone on national television and proclaim, I'm a shooter, people are going to hold you to that. She's had good games shooting the ball, and she has bad games shooting the ball. It's consistency. Like, yeah, you're leading the league in assists. I love that. But this is a scoring league. She can score the ball without a shadow of a doubt. But there have been games where you go, man, if she didn't couple box scores, it's particularly from 3. She's taken, I'll say, six threes and has made 1. Or it's just, I just feel like, again, it just comes down to you got to be consistent, and people are going to hold you to when you make comments. Because ever since then, and it's on social media, and I'm not part of that crowd, but I'm just saying, ever since the proclamation against Vegas, I'm a shooter, on ESPN, teams have said, okay, let her shoot the ball. Now I've noticed the last few games it's gotten better, but I could tell she was emotionally upset. She was visibly upset after the game. I could tell. And I believe, in my opinion, and I'll be honest, if I had a vote, she would have gotten it without a shadow of a doubt. Well, I did vote as a fan of WNBA.com, but I'm just saying as a media, she would have gotten my vote. She's the floor general on the defensive side for this team, without a shadow of a doubt. She is the cog in the engine. I love Natasha Cloud, but I think stats matter. But again, this is a scoring league. Passing the ball is great, but scoring consistently. Yes, she plays both ends of the floor. Yes, you have to prepare for her. She's a facilitator on offense, but it was tough. I do feel like, again, there were some lifetime achievement awards handed out. We're going to get into that, but I mean, Ariel Atkins was the only All-Star. Was the only one from the Mystics that did make the All-Star team. Really, really happy for her. But if I had a vote media-wise, Natasha Cloud would have gotten it. But I think that she's more of a defensive guard, and the coaches, I don't know what they're looking for. I mean, yeah, they care about the scoring. I think she's having a good year so far, but at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to you've got to be consistent, scoring the ball. That's it. As far as the game goes, I mean, it was pretty much just a one-sided game. I mean, we were up double digits after the first half. There was nothing spectacular about the Atlanta Dream game. So that happened. And then we prepared, in the post game. Well, let me talk. I'm going to show the clip with Coach T in pregame. For some unknown reason, I don't know why I missed the media availability call. But I'm going to play the clip with his reaction of Elena and Tosh not making the All-Star team. Also, to the post game against Atlanta, I did ask Shatori Walker-Kimbrell, Ariel Atkins, and my favorite basketball player, Maisha Hines-Allen, a couple questions. One of them I should have phrased differently, but we'll get into that.
So that's a good sign right off the bat. So, smart players. So that's a good start.
Last thing for me, just any reaction to the All-Star announcement today, just Ariel, for you guys?
Yeah, I would say it's disappointing. I felt we had two deserving All-Stars. Tosh should have Tosh assists. One of the better defensive players in the league. Elena is playing, almost as many games as a few other teams have played. So, you can obviously be careful about things, but your stats are stats. And we think she plays a lot, and she's been efficient. But, coach has their reasons for doing things like this.
Coach, I know you said.
So that was his reaction. Let's get into the post game after the big win. I'm just going to play my questions towards Shatori, Ariel, and Maisha. Yeah. Hey, ladies, great win tonight. Ariel, congratulations on making the All-Star team. This is a question for all three of you. When you got a couple of days before we go on the road to Connecticut, what do you guys do when you're not in the gym, not watching film, not practicing? What do you do to mentally unwind from basketball?
Sorry, I mean, you smiled, so I ain't gonna lie, I kind of forgot because we just been playing so much. So I might have to get back to you after tomorrow. It's been like every other day. I mean, I just I know I've been trying to take care of my body. Yeah. And just thank you for another 24.
I like
They have no off days.
I mean, we have played the most games throughout the season. The scheduling is ridiculous, especially in the midst of a FIBA season. I can't believe that. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Back to back. Play travel. It's a practice travel.
Now, this question I asked, I feel like I should have phrased it better. I didn't think it was a bad question. I may have caught him off guard. Because I've seen a lot of particularly those. I mean, I'm on Twitter most of the time, but on Twitter, there's a lot of the ladies that tweet, how many days Brittany has been detained and different things like that. So, I mean, Friday was the start of her trial. It was day 135. I just wanted to just get what they're feeling about the whole situation and different things like that. Kind of, I don't want to say it was an awkward moment, but it was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I could have phrased that differently.
I know I wanted to get your reactions to BG, her detention now extended for another 6 months. Her trial date's Friday. I just want to get your thoughts and your reaction, how you feel about that. I mean,
I think they know. I think they know. I think it caught them off guard, and I feel like it's probably just. It's emotional to really talk about. I don't think they really were comfortable. Well, they didn't really want to talk about it, and I respect that.
My heart is heavy. She's praying every single day for her, just her safety, her mind, her body. It just sucks, honestly.
And that'll conclude media for tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was that. It was a good game, great win. Couple of days. I believe they actually left today. They should have left today for Connecticut, if not Friday evening at the most. But it was the first post-practice media availability in quite a couple of months. Haven't practiced because of scheduling. So, I mean, all they've had is just shoot around. So, Avina Westbrook, as I stated, who was signed by the Washington Mystics on a 7-day contract, was available for post-practice media. I got to ask her a couple questions. I did not ask Coach T because a couple questions that I had written down, those were answered. So, also Rui Machida was also available, but mostly shout out to those people. Shout out to Japan. A lot of the reporters were on the Zoom, so they only most of the Zoom media time was for them. So I mean, those are like really one or two questions that we could answer, but more for Japanese media. Shout out to them. Most of the questions were answered for them, and it was actually pretty cool. It's actually kind of a real cool experience to really know she's got a great following in the W so far, and that she's had a lot of supporters back home. I like that. So let me play the clip, and we're going to get into the game against Connecticut, preview that game, and then we're going to talk about the All-Stars.
Nathan? Good afternoon, Avina. My name is Nathan Snell, host of Big Nate Sports Talk podcast. Welcome to DC.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. My first question is, you mentioned that this is your third team in your rookie season.
Yeah.
Just talk about how, along the way you've played with Sylvia Fallow, Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart, even Cheryl Reeves, Coach Quinn. How have they been? How impactful have they been so far? What are the things that they've given you to take away as you are a rookie in this league so far?
I feel like I've learned so many things from everyone that you had just named. So when I was at Seattle, just how Sue like kind of just coaches the team coaches itself. And coach, you know what, like I feel like I needed her, especially during training camp, just to get like, I don't know, I needed to be the Vina that I felt like I've always been. I just couldn't, it just wasn't coming out. And I feel like she was able to bring that out of me, like have me realize like, hey, like, don't get mad at yourself, make a mistake, carry on, play, you know how to play. And so she just kept on telling me every day, like, reps eliminate doubt. So I was in the gym early, leaving the gym late, getting to a point where I just felt comfortable where I could literally do anything. And that's what I was able to do. She really just wanted me to play. And she was like, you know, when I had got waived, the biggest thing she told me, she was like, you know, although you can't be here, the biggest thing that you learn is like, you know how to play. You were supposed to be here for a reason. So, you already know what you're capable of and more. So I think that was the biggest thing I learned from there. When I got to Minnesota, I think Seal is just one of my favorite people now, my favorite humans ever. Her energy, her just how she is. She's loving, caring. You know, you might look at her and be like, oh my God, like she has a special place in my heart for sure. And I know I do for her too. Okay. But no, she's incredible. She was constantly just talking to me on and off the court. We're talking about crypto, how to make money, just little things like that. She's just able to put me on game with different things. And so even, I guess I'm a rookie and I'm trying to absorb and be a sponge to everyone, especially the older guys, because they've been through it and they know the position that I'm in.
And last question for me is, when you're not playing basketball, what are some of the things that help you mentally, physically unwind from the game?
It depends on my mood. I like to really just be at home chilling, but sometimes I like to get out, go on walks, or go to the movies, or I like to do different stuff. I try to go horseback riding before I left Minnesota. That didn't work out, but I'm gonna try to find somewhere out here. So if y'all know some good places, please let me know. And I'm a really big dessert person, so I'm trying to find all the dessert spots. So if y'all know, please let me know, because I will be there. And that is not a joke. Chocolate cake is, yeah.
And so yeah, that was a good point. I did leave her a good dessert place on her Twitter account, so she definitely should check it out. But yeah, I think it was good. I think it's good that they had this time to rest, get their bodies right, get their minds right. We're going on the road to Connecticut. Last time we saw these girls, we saw them on Father's Day, and we blew them out the gym. We contained Alyssa Thomas and Courtney Williams, I remember, to 11 points combined. Garner Jones was taken out the game, not physically, but I'm just saying her game in terms of pick and roll took that away. Your leading scorer was the only one in double figures, was Jonquel Jones, if I remember that correctly. Did everything right on the defensive side of the ball. Who led us in that? I want to say it was Ariel that led us in that game. But I'm not really looking for much. I'm looking for the same energy against Connecticut, because it was the defense wins championships. They held Connecticut, I believe it was under 40% as a piece in the first three quarters. Connecticut did turn the ball over 13 times in that game. We have 14 points on turnovers. I think we had four turnovers in that game, if I'm not mistaken. The Sun did attempt to make a comeback in the fourth, but we shut that down really quick. But I mean, when it was all said and done, all the smoke was cleared. Coming in this game, Elena Deladon will not be playing because this is a rest game. This is a rest day for her. The only one else that was on the injury report is Miss Jasmine Thomas, who's out for the season, unfortunately. Is the final, like I said, this is the final game. So we can go up 2-1 against Connecticut on the road. We lost the first time. It was in May. We lost by 8. And like I said, beat them on Father's Day. Elena Deladon was the X factor in that game on Father's Day. I think she had 15 points in the first half. Elena Deladon had 12. It's coming back to me. And Alicia Clark had 10. I think Victoria Walker Kimbrough also was on fire in that game as well. It was just an all-around effort by the Stars and bench. Starts again with our defense. How we kept everybody else in under double digits except John Quell. We got to contain her, making Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner, Courtney Williams, Ryder Jones do a little bit more. Practically all of them have double figures, but it's going to be a fight. But I believe that we can do it. It just starts the defense. I think I'm kind of wondering. I'm thinking Kurt Miller might go small because the lineup he had out, Coach T, the lineup he had out there, he had Ariel, Taj, Alicia, Shakira, and Elena. His starting lineup potentially could be Taj, Ariel, Alicia, Maisha, and Shakira. That lineup could work. But I could see him putting Kurt Miller. I could see a lineup. Natisha Heidemann. I can see him starting Dejanay Carrington, Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner. I can see him actually starting Breonna Jones, and John Call comes off the bench. I'm kind of curious to see what the lineup's going to be like because Elena won't be there. But on the defensive side of the ball, we got to figure out how to just keep the same, just have the same game plan, but just prepare. I think Kurt Miller might go small. I think he's going to have his normal lineup out there with Bree Jones coming off the bench, and you have Jonquel, DeWanna, Alyssa, Courtney, and Natisha. I think that's the lineup Kurt Miller's going to have. And I see the starting lineup for the Mystics: Taj, Ariel, Alicia, Maisha, and Shakira. I see that's going to be the starting lineup for both teams. And that game against Connecticut, I think, was it Maisha and Shakira did not play that much because they had non-COVID illnesses, if I remember correctly, in that game. So everybody's ready to play. I did talk about this on the Keeping It 9450 Women's Basketball Network. Shakira Austin had a death in the family. Send my thoughts and prayers to her and her family. So I did bring that up on the Keep It 94 Women's Basketball Network. Check it out as well. Shout out to Daniel Artest and K-Dot. Shout out to those guys. But pace, commit Connecticut to turn the ball over 10 or more times. Contain Jonquel Jones. Take away the pick and roll. Limit Connecticut's transition offense. We gotta be aggressive early. And really get the guards going early. Ariel, Tosh. If we could get them, if they could get going early, it could be a good game because Connecticut did not do a great job on the defensive end containing that backcourt. I'm gonna say the Washington Mystics get a nice Sunday win against the Connecticut Sun, 88-79.
Guaranteed.
I can see that. Now, with that being said, let's transition to the All-Star game. First and foremost, congratulations to those that made the All-Star team. Well-deserved. Unfortunately, somebody's always going to get left off. I don't like it. It sucks. If I had to expand the rosters, I would do it myself. But again, if I had a media vote, I know who I would put in there without a shadow of a doubt. So this is going to be how it's going to be. So first and foremost, the way it's set up, so you have co-captains. So this is Sylvia Fallows and Sue Bird's last season, because they're retiring at the end of this year. So what they did, they had co-captains. So it's Asia Wilson and Sylvia Fallows versus Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird. I still don't understand why. I don't think that made sense, but that's okay. The draft was today, and thank you once again for it not being even promoted, and I missed it.
So when are we gonna say something about it? You know what? I'm gonna walk away. I'll be right back because I'm scared I'm gonna say something that might get me in trouble. Cause I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Luckily, I was on Twitter, was able to see who was drafted. But yeah, that was the only thing that was disappointing, and it was only 30 minutes. It was on ESPN, without no question. So today was the draft. Team Wilson, she drafted obviously her co-captain Sylvia Fallows. So she drafted with the number 1 overall pick, Candace Parker. She drafted Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, Ryan Howard, Garrett Handy, Courtney Vandersloot, Ariel Atkins, Brianna Jones, and Natasha Howard. Team Stewart, Brianna Stewart, she drafted Jackie Young, Jonquel Jones, Nneka Ogwumike. She traded I forgot who she traded for her for. I can't remember who she traded her for, but I know initially Asia had drafted Nneka. Jewel Lloyd, Kalia Copper, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Alyssa Thomas, Arike Ngubawale, and Emma Meeseman. So that's how Team Stewart versus Team Wilson is set up for the All-Star game. Couple people I had an issue that were not All-Stars, and they should have been All-Stars. Again, make this argument with the NBA, with football, baseball. We really need a true definition of what an all-star is, because I've heard this argument about winning matters and different things like that. So all-star to me is the best player on your team. Somebody who is proven to be the best player, who takes over in certain situations, who's put up numbers that no other player on any other team is doing. They're doing more for their team than others. Now, unfortunately, people like to throw records in your face, and like to bring up records when talk about what an all-star is. Now, this is who I believe was snubbed. Number 1 was Kelsey Mitchell. I thought it was disgusting that she wasn't even considered. She's right now averaging 19 points a game, shooting 40% from 3. I know her assists are under 5. But again, people are going to bring up because she's playing in Indiana. She's surrounded by 5 rookies. But Kalia Copper, who's only played 13 games, made the All-Star team. I believe Kelsey's practically starting every game. Now, I do feel like there is politics as well, because also too, Chicago. So the defending champs, you had Candace Parker, Emma Meeseman, who I think is deserving to be an all-star, and then Kylie. She hadn't played enough games for me to consider her an all-star. I thought Kelsey should have been there, but people want to throw Indiana's not winning. But I want to bring this up just for the record, because when we're bringing up winning, right? When you look at the standings right now, I mean right now for as of today, July it's now Sunday, July 3rd. The number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th seeds. If the 6, 7, 8 seed, if the playoffs started today, their records are below 500. That's mediocre. Yet you have all-stars. They have all-star. They have all-star selections.
So when are we gonna say something about it? You know what? I'm gonna walk away.
I don't think that's fair. That how can if you look at the majority after the 5th seed, Atlanta, Dallas are tied with 9 wins. Phoenix has 9 wins. Minnesota has 6. Indiana has 5. Yeah, practically all these teams are not winning, but yet they have all-stars. But the excuse is, well, you're going to have a hard time finding players. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think winning has to do with everything. If you're putting up good numbers, you're putting up good numbers. Now the argument is, well, can you do that on good teams? Well, you have somebody that made the All-Star team and didn't play enough games. And then you had another player, I feel like, because they had a good month in June, a good June, that's why they made the All-Star team. But All-Stars is all about who you want to see, your favorite players. I get that. Now, next person who was on my list, Alicia Gray. I think it's absolutely disgusting that she wasn't even considered. She's definitely snubbed. How she didn't make it is beyond me. She's an effective shooter from the field. I think she leads the wings in that category. Her development on both sides of the ball has been immaculate basketball to watch. I don't know if I heard somebody saying, but the 3v3s kind of messed them up. No, I think she's just been balling. But for her not make it, that made no sense.
Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC Airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man.
Number 3, Chelsea Gray. Now, Chelsea Gray, I believe she's 5th. Remember looking at the stats, she's 5th in the league in terms of assists. Yes, they are, well, no, I take it back. The Las Vegas Aces and the Chicago Sky are tied for first place.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is disgusting. It's disgraceful.
I believe Chelsea Gray has.
It's embarrassing.
In that,
and I'm ticked off.
And their success right now,
it don't make any sense. This is unacceptable.
It was tough.
Unacceptable.
Particularly in the West. You can make a case for her. I think she should have made it, in my opinion.
And something needs to be done about it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I don't understand that. But why is my computer frozen? Hold on. The hell? So, I mean, with Chelsea Gray, I apologize. My computer randomly just froze. I don't know why I did that. I think she could have made a case Monday night, but she didn't play because of a personal reason. But she does bring a dynamic aspect to the game offensively for Vegas. And, I mean, I think a lot of it also, too, she's really going to pick and roll. She's the X factor for the offense. Now, if you pushed me to have all 5 starters for Vegas, I would say yes. I would say yes. Number 4, and I do feel like, and I'm going to put a guarantee on this. Ezzy, I cannot pronounce. I'm gonna pronounce this, but I'm gonna name drop it. Ezzy McGregor will be an all-star.
Guaranteed.
I feel like she's having a great year. I think when you're sharing the floor with Brianna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, Sue Bird, she's really, really, really on both sides of the ball. She's just looks spectacular. As a two-way player, I know Jackie Young will most likely get Most Improved Player of the Year, without a shadow of a doubt. But like, I don't know. I just feel like it's time we start learning to pass the torch on some of the young players. Now, I did not consider Elena Deladon as a snub because, again, let's keep it real. She's been out of the lineup because she's for rest. We're in for rest of her back, and I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna be careful, but I love Elena. I love her, but I'm gonna award. I awarded others. I would have given it to Kelsey Mitchell, Alyssa Thomas. I would awarded others, not taking anything away from Elena. The same thing with Dana Taurasi. Got to start passing the torch. It's just all-star to me is if you've got good talent on the floor and you're seeing their numbers like you've never seen it before, they deserve that opportunity to be out there. Now, I did think it was crazy that Skylar Diggins did not get recognized by her coach Nygaard. She made a comment talking about with Diana not making it and completely forgot to acknowledge that you had someone else going. I thought that was weird. But I'm gonna be honest. I feel like people saying Diana Taurasi's name on that lit with her and some others. This is not a lifetime achievement award. It's not. I reward winning and those that are having good years. Again, looking at the standings after the 6 through 12 are all below 500. That completely goes against what an all-star is. Like, what are we talking about? I mean, at the end of the day, like Natasha Cloud, I would say yes and no, but I think a lot of it has shown that this is a scoring league, and I do feel like she did send a message to the coaches that didn't vote for her. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like those that made the All-Star team, it was fair. And there may be some adjustments, but I think out of all of them, I'd say Kelsey Mitchell and Alicia Gray were the top two, in my opinion. They should have made it. I mean, especially Alicia Gray. She's averaging almost 15 points, a little under 15 points under 6 rebounds a game, shooting 43% from the three. That's crazy. And then Kelsey Mitchell too, having great years, and that's not getting recognized. That's disgusting. It really is. And also too, looking at the fact that it goes back to the definition of what defines all-star. You know what I mean? I'm not taking away from those that made the all-star team, but it's like, and it was really hard to really, it was hard to really say like, who could I take out, who could I sub in? So, yeah. But other than that, that's your 2022 WNBA All-Star Game roster. I'm excited. I unfortunately will not be in Chicago, but I'll be watching it on TV. It is, I believe it is July 10th, 1 o'clock, ABC. It's in Chicago, which is 7 days away. It'll be a week from today. I can't wait for it. I don't think there'll be any replacements. And then after that, I think we are good. We got the first half of the season finished. I can't believe that. I think let me check the schedule. I think for the Mystics, I think we're done for at least like 6. I think we got like 6 days off. I know we got the Commissioner's Cup. I think it's like right after the All-Star game. Let me check real quick. No. Okay, so we got July 6th. We go to Atlanta. Then we got that week off. Then we're back on Tuesday. We got to go to Los Angeles, go to Phoenix Thursday. And then we're back home for 2 games against Minnesota and New York. Go to Dallas Thursday on the 28th. And then Seattle twice home on the 30th and 31st. Now, I did request media access to cover the team in person, but I was limited availability, and I know why. Because on the 30th and 31st, it is Sylvia Fallow and Sue Bird twice. So you know media is going to be there. It's going to be packed. And then also, too, it's New York. So Sylvia Fallow's we play on the 17th. But I'm actually going to go to that game on the 17th to see Sylvia Fowles. I want to see that. And then the Liberty Thursday on this 21st. So I requested that I recover the team in person on the 14th and the 7th of August against the Sparks and the Fever. Our last home game is the Fever. So, and most likely we will be in playoff mode. But the Commissioner's Cup, let's make sure I forgot what the date is for that. And we need to see who's actually in the standings. Hold on. I do apologize. I'm trying to really find when the schedule for the Commissioner's Cup starts. Okay, so as of now, I believe it is the Las Vegas Aces and the Chicago Sky that are leading in the Commissioner's Cup. I believe, because I can't find it. It has to be like August, late July, early August. It has to be one of those two dates. Because last year they had it on Amazon Prime, and that was not promoted greatly. I know Coach T said we have like 6 days off in between the Commissioner's Cup. So Yeah. So with that being said, that's going to conclude the video. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune in for future episodes. Like I said, NBA free agency is upon us. Week 1's done. It's been a crazy week 1. Kevin Durant, who crushed the trade from Brooklyn. The Knicks got their man in Jalen Brunson. So we'll be tuning in for a video for that. I'm going to finish up these shorts for the NBA draft. I've likened the response that I've gotten from those. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, I can't wait for tomorrow's game again for the Mystics versus the Connecticut Sun. But yeah, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Happy 4th of July. Do something fun. Watch fireworks. Have a nice, safe cookout with friends, family. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. But more importantly, stay safe out here. Until then, I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Because, you know, it is what it is. It's so great to be great.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.